Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Cotoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Foreign Affairs Minister says Russia to face more sanctions over Ukraine invasion. Ontario lifts mask mandates in most public spaces including schools and retail settings. Ontario proposes permanent measures to tackle illegal border blockades. Trudeau government commits $75 million to vaccine injury compensation program. Toronto parents have until midnight to enroll children in online learning for next year. Feds launching review of mandatory jab policy for public sector employees. Canada to end pre-arrival COVID-19 test for incoming travelers. Raptors win sixth straight road game. Toronto Maple Leafs acquire veteran defenseman Mark Giordano from Seattle Kraken. So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly says Canada will soon impose new sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. Joly made the comment today after she delivered a speech to the Montreal Council on Foreign Relations. She says more economic sanctions are forthcoming against Russian nationals and Russian companies to further isolate the country. She also said that Russian President Vladimir Putin is unpredictable and his invasion of Ukraine is a threat to world stability. Ontario residents were able to shop, see a movie, and take in a hockey game without wearing a mask for the first time in about a year and a half as the province lifted face-covering mandates for most public spaces today. Students in public schools were also able to attend a class without wearing a mask, though many chose to keep wearing them. Several school boards had wanted more time to keep mask mandates, but those requests were denied by Chief Medical Officer of Health. Chief Medical Officer of Health Dr. Karen Moore had said making masks optional does not signal that COVID-19 has disappeared or this pandemic is over, but it means that Ontario has come to a place where it can now manage the virus. Ontario is set to introduce legislation with measures intended to tackle illegal blockades at international border crossing. The province enacted some of the measures on an emergency basis last month when anti-vaccine mandate protesters occupied downtown Ottawa and blocked the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, which is a critical trade route. Now, Premier Doug Ford is looking to permanently enact the additional tools for the police officers, including the ability to impose roadside suspensions of driver's licenses and vehicle permits, seize license plates when a vehicle is used in an illegal blockade, and remove and store objects making up an illegal blockade. He says the legislation signals to the world that Ontario is open for business. The Canadian federal government has launched the Vaccine Injury Support Program. It aims to ensure that all people in Canada who have experienced a serious and permanent injury as a result of receiving a Health Canada authorized vaccine administered in Canada on or after December 8, 2020 have fair and timely access to financial support. A department memo stipulated a total of $75 million in funding has been earmarked for the first 5 years of the program. The expense includes administration costs and the financial support to be eligible claimants. In Canada, we have flawed vaccine side effect reporting system called the Canadian Adverse Events following the immunization surveillance system. Toronto parents have until midnight to decide if their child will be attending school in person or virtually in the next academic year. According to a letter sent out by Toronto District School Board, parents who want their child to attend school remotely must fill out a form by midnight tonight. Parents who want their child to attend school in person do not need to take any action. Regardless of their decision, the Toronto School Board warned the choice parents will make will be permanent. There will be no opportunity to switch between in-person learning and virtual learning once the deadline has passed. Medical masks will be available to students if they want one, and staff will continue to have access to non-fitted N95 masks. Chief Public Health Officer Teresa Tam said federal government is considering moving an emphasis on requirement to an emphasis on recommendation. Tam told reporters last weekend, "I think the federal government has taken a very precautionary, thoughtful approach. They are looking at a phased approach of removing some of these policies. I know these policies are being reviewed and re-examined as we speak. The new review on the federal vaccination policy is just now catching up with a 27-year-old analysis of mandatory vaccination." Starting April 1st, fully vaccinated travelers to Canada will no longer need a pre-arrival COVID-19 test. The Canadian government announced the new measures would affect travelers arriving at all ports of entry. Although pre-arrival testing requirements will be dropped, the government may still randomly test travelers upon arrival. To be considered fully vaccinated, the Canadian government requires travelers to have the full recommended dose of an approved vaccine. At this time, a booster shot is not required. The final dose must have been taken within 14 days of arrival to Canada. Travelers must upload their proof of vaccination to the Arrive Can app. Pascal Siakam had 26 points and 10 rebounds, and Precious Achiuwa scored 21 points to lead the Toronto Raptors to a 93-88 win over the Philadelphia 76ers on Sunday night. Chris Boucher had 12 points and 14 rebounds to help the Raptors extend their road-winning streak to 6. The Raptors had a whopping 20 offensive rebounds and held an overall 56-40 edge on the glass. The Maple Leafs acquired the veteran defenseman and Toronto native along with center Colin Blackwell from Seattle Kraken on Sunday for 2 second-round draft picks and a third-round selection. The Kraken then named Giordano, who has 6 goals and 23 points in 55 games this season, as the franchise's first captain. The NHL trade deadline is set for Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simona Cotoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Adios.